One thing we have not yet talked about is how you can make use of private packages. So we've talked about how you can use packages to publish your package and, well, how you can use GitHub to open source your package. But since a couple of weeks, it's also possible to create private packages or private repositories on GitHub for free. And let's see how we can make use of these private repositories and then how we can use them in our applications. So all we talked about right now was great for open source projects, but what if you want to create a package just for your company? So you want to just restructure parts of your monolithic application into smaller chunks of packages. Maybe you do not want to open source these packages, even though you might want to reconsider at least open sourcing the parts that other people can use because, well, I'm a huge open source enthusiast. But if you do not want to publish certain packages or certain parts of your application, let's see how you can still make use of these packages internally. So this is just a boilerplate package that I just created, and I pushed it into a private repository. So it's Beyond Code secret package. So no one can access this package, which also means that I am not able to publish this package on Packagist. So how can I make use of this with my team and my coworkers? So the easiest option is to use this as a repository. So we've already talked about repositories when we looked at the path repository. So let's see how we can use this for other repositories as well. So in the repository section of our composer.json file, we can add a new entry. The type would be VCS, which is for version control system. And then we would give it a URL. And in our case, we would point it to this repository URL. So this is the URL that we want to use for our package. Now, all we still need to do is tell our composer.json which package we are going to require. So we can now go and add Beyond Code /secret package. And I have not published any version, so we can just use dev master and add this as a requirement to our composer.json file. Now, if I go to my terminal and in here do a composer update, you can now see that we have installed our secret package. And in this case, it points to the master branch and the commit hash of our master branch. And we also, since this is a Laravel package boilerplate, have discovered the package through the service provider that this package has. So by using the repository sections to not only point it to local path, you're able to point it to version control systems that also might be private. The only thing that you need to consider is that whatever system is using a Composer install or a Composer update needs to have access to these repositories. So this means that if you perform this, for example, on a deployment server or on a live system, then you need to create a GitHub token that has access to your private repositories. Don't worry, when you install the dependencies, Composer will tell you that you need to create a token and it will give you a link. But you just need to be aware of that everyone that you want to have access to the package will obviously also need access to your secret and private packages. And this does not only work with GitHub, it also works, for example, with Bitbucket. So if you have your company repositories on Bitbucket or, for example, on GitLab, you can use those as well. So this is an easy way on how you can still use the power of packages and just combining everything into smaller packages, but keeping everything in the source code to yourself.